All right. I'm about to make you uncomfortable, mostly because I am. Okay, so this is an excerpt from High Functioning, My Rear End. Once again, I became bullied, but just as I had been in elementary school. It became worse because my race wasn't immediately obvious and I had a strong Southern Florida English accent that I picked up from my short stint living there. Note, my Hispanic drawled accent sounded like a cross between the Miami Cuban English and Swampy Speak. I also didn't understand U.S. slang very well either. The bullying was relentless, and it didn't help that my younger brother bullied me too. It mostly happened after school. I asked my mother for help, but she accused me of being violent and asking for fights. I didn't know how this was the case. It wasn't my fault that people were racist or liked to pick on folks with disabilities like mine. The bullying finally stopped when I decided to fight back. My rage turned out to be so brutal that I beat a girl with a reputation for being tough. The fight also turned out to be the only one that actually happened on the school grounds. Groups of kids beating on me as I tried to walk home was the usual situation, but my maternal grandmother's foresight about teaching me martial arts helped me fight this girl one-on-one. Hold on a second. When I heard teachers and the principal hollering down the hall after some kid snitched on us, I decided to let the girl hit me. I purposely fell on the floor and acted like I was in more pain than I was. I didn't want to get yelled at by my mom. So I did something that I saw a villain do in a B movie. I knew I was wrong, but Mom already forced me to leave the Space Club, the Chess Club, and the Polynesian Club, and don't ask me how I ended up in the Polynesian Club, because I was the bad kid, in spite of getting straight A's and practically living in the library. To my surprise, I didn't get in trouble. The principal at Westlake Junior High at the time knew how bullied and lonely I was. In spite of him forcing me to make eye contact when I first ended up in his office, he felt a lot of compassion for me. He apologized to me when I told him that the reason I was allowing other kids to copy my papers in advanced placement English was because nobody liked me and I wanted to have friends. He listened to me for a very long time and asked a lot of questions. I didn't get in trouble that day, but he asked me not to let other kids copy my papers again. I complied. I didn't get in trouble the day I beat the snot out of that girl either. I'm not entirely sure if I fooled him into believing that I was the innocent party, or if it was just a case of him quietly accepting that she had it coming. Things changed for me after that day. I became the scary kid. And that was fine by me. The reputation followed me to Minnesota when my mom got transferred to a different job. Interestingly enough, being the scary kid turned out to be a blessing in disguise. No one messed with me in Minnesota. Things actually got better. I made friends. Sure, I was the scary, weird kid, but carrying that label sure felt a lot better than being bullied. I'm still weird as an adult, obviously. And according to the cheerleaders that I met at my 10-year high school reunion, I still had the reputation for being scary. And just as a note, because of that incident, I was not invited to the 20th high school reunion and was explicitly banned. Yet as an adult, surrounded by a community of people who love me and support me, life is a lot better in spite of having a lot of the same issues I had as a kid. On top of that, I'm dyslexic now. Brain injuries that never really resolved themselves. I have to dictate my writing using speech to text on my computer and phone, and reading is difficult without assistance. That's okay. As long as I can continue finding adaptations and accommodations that help me continue learning and writing, I will be able to continue telling my story as it develops. I hope this narrative helps another bully bait kid find hope and a future eagerly awaiting its brilliance.
Nice.
Thank you, boss. Next we have